Good morning to all. So here, in last class we discussed about four. So here, so in last class discussed about four lexical analyzer and generators. So what is lexical analyzer? So in lexical analyzer, we are having three type of functions. So the first one is lex.l program. So you can give the program, the program can be changed as the file name as .l. Then you go to execute for the lex compiler, you can got the output as lex.yy.c. So after input, you can got the output as the input for the C compiler. You can execute for the C compiler, you got the output is a.out. So you can give the input stream, execute in the a.out output, you got the output is sequence of tokens. So this is for the lex compiler, how to execute the lex compiler generators. So in lexical analyzer, you are executing the program as tool is lex tool, capital LEX. So here you are using for the FLEX. So FLEX means fast lexical analyzer. So in JLEX means Java lexical analyzer. So after executing the program, you got to produce for the sequence of tokens. So here you are using for the three parts. One is declaration section, other one is translation rule section, third one is auxiliary procedure section. So the first one will be declared for the declaration section. So you can start from the declaration section. You got to first open for the percentage of open, percentage of close. In between you got to write for the declaration part. Then translation rule, you can start from the double percentage, end with double percentage. In between, you got to write for the translation rules parts. So third part is auxiliary procedure sections. So this first two parts secured for the, you got the identification of the 2% signs. The third part and the proceeding is you got to check for the specify the main program of the given function. So that is for the three structure of the lexical specifications. Okay, so these are the three parts of the lexical programs. Okay, so how to execute for the given programs? So first you got to install the Lex installation in Ubuntu software. Okay, sudo apt -get install Flux. So what is Flux? Flux is fast lexical analyzer generator. You go to generate the token as fast manner. Okay, then you can go to the terminal. That is, you already got the idea about operating system blocks. Unix environment or Linux environment. Go to execute for the V-editors. Here same as V-editor, but you use for the Ubuntu terminals. So terminal you got to check, type for gedit filename.l. Why you are using for .l? .l is Lex program. That's why you are saving it as a file name is .l. This is the input of the program. What is the output of the program? Gedit filename.c. Okay, gedit filename.c. What is the compilation parts? We are having for three parts. One is lex.l. Next one is lex.yy.c. Third one is a.out. So this is for the lexical program compilation parts. So here sample programs. So this is for the sample program. So in sample program, we are got for the so in first program in declaration part, You got to open percentage open, percentage code. In between, you got to write for the declaration part. So third section, second section, you got to write for the translation rule section. So you got to specify the each and every data type, integer, identifier, float variable, keywords, everything you got to declare for the translation parts. Then third one, you got to specify in the form of main function of the programs. That is for the auxiliary procedure section. So after that, you got to execute for the these three execution compilation part. You got the output as symbol token for example, A will be equal to B plus C mean A, B, C is the identifier, equal is the assignment operator, plus is the arithmetic operator. So similar that you got to got the output for the given programs. Okay, this is for the lexical compiler. So next thing is in last part of the first units. This is for the so in bootstrapping technique. In bootstrapping, we are having for what we are using for bootstrapping mean it is widely used in the compilation developments. Compilation development. Second thing, the bootstrapping is used to produce a self-hosting compiler. Self-hosting compiler. So the self-hosting compiler is a type of compiler that compile the own source code. It compile the own source code. Compile the own source code. So this type of compiler is used to compile the compiler, and then you can use the compiler, compiler to compile everything else as well as future version of itself. So what is the meaning of bootstrapping? Just here, check that we are having for in bootstrapping compilation, we are having for three language. So three language. What is the three language? We are having the compiler is source language, target language, implementation language. Source language, target language, implementation language. So we are having for three language. What is source language? Source language is the language which the compiler want to compile. Which compiler you want to compile? That is the meaning is source language. That is, it's the application programs. Okay, it's got clear. Second thing is target language. Target language means in which got the output of the given source language in which machine code is written. In which machine code is written. That is, one of the compiler you have to translate the given source program. That is source language. So source language, you want to compile the which compiler, that is source language. In target language, in which machine code is written in the source programs. Okay. Third part is implementation language. In which compiler is written for the you got the output of target programs, that is implementation language. So in bootstrapping, we are using for the three language. So first one is source language, second one is target language, third one is implementation language. Okay. Here, check. Here I am indicating for the some T diagrams. T diagram. So in bootstrapping, it will be represented in the form of T representation. That is T representation of the diagrammatical representation format. Here, previously I told we are having for three language: source language, target language, implementation language. So in T representation, the S will be indicate for source, T will be indicate for target, I will be indicate for implementation language. So this is the representation. So the S mean you got to specify the input of the source program. T mean got the output of the source program. Implementation mean based on the target language, which compiler you want to return in the given implementation part. So this is the concept of bootstrapping. This is for bootstrapping. So in bootstrapping, we are representing for T diagrammatical representation. 3 languages can be present here: source, target, implementations. How to do for the implement source to the target language for the bootstrapping conversations. So the first steps, we got to create the compiler. Create the compiler. Check the diagram. Create the compiler. So to produce a new language for L for a machine, capital A. Capital A. So you got the given the source language. We got the output is the target is A machine. But what is the implementation? I want to write for the conversation for A. Okay. Second thing, right? So what we'll do after getting based on the source language, I can change for the implementation part. So this process described by the diagram is called bootstrapping. This process described by the diagram is called bootstrapping. Okay. One given example. So in bootstrapping it is a process in which simple language it is used to translate the more complicated program and may handle for the more complicated programs for the given source program. So we are getting a more complicated program. I got the output for the target language. But the machine only understandable for the machine code only, not even understand for the different formats. Only for the so the CPU does not understand the other thing. Only CPU understand for the machine language. That only we are doing for the implementation part. Okay. Here check. I am giving for one explanation. One example. Check here. A, B, Py. So A means source language, P means target language, Py means implementation language. So here I am indicating Py is for Python language. So source language is machine A. I got the output is P. Implementation language is I got to design the compiler is Python language. But CPU does not understand the Python language. So what we'll do? Based on the machine understands it, I create for one compiler. Okay. Here Python is implementation language. So Python does not understand, CPU does not understand the Python language. So I can change the source program is Python. So if you check Py, both are in same thing. So implementation language, Python does not, CPU does not understand the Python language. So I can create for one compiler. So this is the compiler. So Python implementation means the source program also mentioned for the Python language. It's clear? Python. So what we'll do in compiler, Python is the source language, but Python does not understand the machine code. So what we'll do? I change the compiler with the help of C++ language. Change the type of C++ language. So Python, CPU does not understand the Python. So I can create for one more compiler. Then I can write the implementation language is C++. So compiler written with the help of C++ language. Okay. But CPU does not understand the CPU language. So what we'll do? Based on the CPU understanding, I can create for another one more compiler. So based on C++, I can create the one compiler is C with the help of C language. So here check, I can create one more compiler with the T representation. So here C++ implementation means next compiler is source language is C++. M will be indicated for target language. It's a machine language. So I can create the implementation language is C language. Okay, it's clear? C language. But C also, CPU does not understand the C language. So I can create for another one more compiler. So C is the source program. M is the machine code for target language. So in compiler written with the help of assembly language. but assembly also does not understand for the CPU does not understand. So what we'll do, I can create for another one more compiler. So assembly language is the source program, main code is target program, machine code is target program. So compiler written with the help of machine code. So implementation language is machine code. So compile CPU understand the machine code, then automatically generate the output of the target programs. So this process is called bootstrapping technique. Okay, got? So in bootstrapping technique mean you are having for three parts, three language, source language, target language, implementation language. Source language is the we got to specify in the form of in which the compiler want to compile. That is application programs. Target language in which machine code is written in the source program. Based on the translate the source language, I got written the source program. So implementation language in which compiler is written for the implementation part. But once you got to check in implementation language, the languages will be compiled to be understand or not. That the CPU should be understand or not. CPU does not understand the implementation part mean you have to create for one more compiler based on the implementation. Then you can change for the another one language. Then return the source program. After that you have to execute for the one steps. That processing called bootstrapping technique. Here check in Python is implementation. So Python does not understand the CPU language. So I can change for the source program is I can create for one more compiler. So source program is the Python language. So compiler written with the help of C+ language. C++ language is the machine code. So CPU does not understand the C+ language. So here I can show for the create for another one compiler. Here check both will be in the same thing only. Both will be in same thing. CH. So after that I can create another more compiler. So C++ CPU does not understand. So I can create for with the help of another compiler written C language. So C language also CPU does not understand. So I can create for another one compiler with the help of implementation part assembly language. So assembly language also does not understand the CPU. I can create for another one compiler with the help of machine code. So here source language is the assembly language, implementation is machine language. The output of the target program is machine code. So here I got the output based on the source language and implementation part. So this process of step is called bootstrapping technique. Bootstrapping technique. In part A question, what is bootstrapping technique mean? You have to write simply. Otherwise, in 4 mark question mean you have to explain with the example mean you have to explain for the all the parts. Okay, you got the answer. So here for this is for the bootstrapping technique. Or you are creating for the compiler, or you are doing for the this parts. So this is for the bootstrapping technique. So next thing is cross compiler. Cross compiler. So here also 1-2 more questions for your examination parts. So cross compiler means the compiler which runs on one machine, that is machine 1, and produce the object code for another machine. It is referred to as cross compiler. So what is bootstrapping? Next thing is what is cross compiler? So compiler which runs on one machine and produce the object code for another machine. It is referred to as cross compiler. Okay, here you can check. In lexical compiler generator, we are using for one thing is you have to save the program is .l. Okay, it's clear. Lex.l. So based on the terminal gedit file name .l. So the file name is saved as .l. What we'll do? First you have to write the languages. Program is Lex language. So file name .l. So you got to compile for the Lex compiler. What is the output for Lex compiler? Lex.yy.c. So the output of Lex.yy.c, you can compile for the C compiler. You got the output as a.out. So based on the input, you got output is a.what you got to execute for the given input. You got the output is stream of tokens. So here what we'll do? First, you got to specify the file name is lex.l. Second thing, cc lex.yy.c. This is for the second execution steps. So what is cc? cc is cross compiler. So cc lex.yy.c means you got to execute the Lex language with the help of C compiler in cross compiler cc. So what is cc? cc is nothing but cross compiler. So the compiler which runs on one machine language, one machine, and produce the object code for another machine. That is referred to as cross compiler. So here you can check. First you got to write the compiler as Lex compiler, one machine code. After that, what we'll do? You got to execute for the cc space lex.yy.c. You got to execute for the in C compiler. So what is the output? Finally, you can got the output is tokens. So this is nothing but cross compiler. So cross compiler means compiler which runs on one machine and produce the object code for another machine. It is referred to as cross compiler. Okay, you got the idea now. So what is bootstrapping? What is cross compilers? Now you got the answer. So this is for the bootstrapping technique and cross compiler. So this is for the either in bootstrapping either part 2 mark questions or 4 mark question depending upon the question paper. Anyway, it is an important questions for your examination. Okay, got the idea? Then I can go for the next steps. Next topic. Next thing, data structure in compiler sessions. Data structure in compiler sessions. So in compiler, it's also a software. We need to return in a programming language, and the language would need some sort of data structure to store the huge amount of data. So there is a strong interaction between the algorithm used by the phases of compiler and the data structure that support these phases. So in phase of compiler, we are having for how many phases? First thing is lexical analysis. Second thing is syntax analysis. Third one is semantic. Fourth one intermediate code generation. Then code optimization. Then code generation. Okay, it is right. So here for the phase of compilers. So in phase of compiler, you know about in what is data structure. So what do you mean by data structure? In linear data structure, non-linear data structure. So linear data structure means stack queue, everything linear data structure, linked list. Non-linear data structure, tree and graph. It's correct? So here the most common data structure that can be used for the compiler is one thing is array. Second one is linked list. Third one is stack. So here you can check for in the first phase of compiler array is either linear or sequential form. But each and every phase of compiler to be interact with the symbol tables. You know that. So lexical phase, syntax, semantic, intermediate code generation, code optimization, code generation, all the phases, all data can be stored from the symbol table. Then based on the symbol table, you have to specify for the each and every identifier, you have to specify for the some addresses. So based on the address only, you have to indicate. So this data can be stored from this address only. That is the main thing for symbol table instructions. So the array, the 6 phase of compiler can be interact with the array format. So all the phases can be support for the array representation of it data structure format. So what is the linked list format? So linked list means you have to interact with either relation or link between the two elements, It's correct. So it is used to represent the form of tree representations. So linked list also it can be represent the form of tree representation also. Right? For example, in heap chart, we can implement in the form of either array representation and also in tree representation. Both of it is possible for the heap sort. Right? So in linked list format, it is relations or link between the elements. So it is used to represent the tree format. So that is output from the syntax and semantic analyzer. So syntax analyzer, what will do? You have to give the input. Based on the input, you have to draw the hierarchical representation of tree format. So syntax analyzer, it is represent the form of tree representation. Semantic, what will do? Based on syntax analyzer is the input, but you have to check for the either any error will be there for the data type representations. So semantic also it is representing form of tree representation. So linked list we are using for the both syntax and semantic analyzer. But array we are using for the all the 6 phases of compiler. But in linked list we are using for the syntax and semantic analysis only used for the linked list representation. Then third one, what is stack? So what is so stack? It is an array collection of unrelated data. So which means any type of data that can be stored in stack. Any type of data can be stored in stack. So here we are only using for the syntax analyzer phase of the compiler will be used for the stack representations. So we are giving for any input. For example, I am giving for 19 minus 5 plus 20. So what we'll do, each and every is the identifier operator symbol we are using. So stack it is representation of last in first out or first in last out. So based on the representation, I can create for the collection of data. So all the data can be stored from this stack. So it is the implementation part of syntax analyzer. So syntax analyzer only we are doing for the representation of tree format only. So here in stack representation we are using for the second phase of the compiler. So here in the most common data structure you are using for the array representation. It's a 6 phase of compiler. Linked list, it's a linked between the elements. It is used to represent the tree format. That is the output from the syntax and semantic analyzer. Stack, it is a collection of unrelated data. So in syntax analyzer only you are giving for unrelated data. Integer, data type, constant, number, plus, minus, everything to be represented in form of stack representation. That is for syntax analyzer. So that is the third data structure can be represented for stack as the syntax analyzer. Okay, good. So this is for the most common data structure in compilation of lexical spaces. Here check. So what is token? So the token is represented by the integer value. Then it is necessary to preserve the string of character that was scanned. So syntax tree is constructed by the pointer based structure. It is dynamically allocated by the parsing proceeds. Third thing, symbol table. All the data can be stored from the type of identifier, keyword, parameter. All the data can be stored from the symbol table instructions. So in that instruction, insertion, deletion, search operation needed to be efficient because they are using for the frequently. The code generation, code automation use the information in the symbol table. So these last two synthesis phase of compiler, we got the information from symbol table only. Next thing, the hashing table. You know the hashing technique. A function that performs searching the key value into the address is called hashing. So in hashing, we are having lot of type: linear grouping, separate chaining, rehashing, open addressing, double hashing. Lot of type will be available for the hashing techniques. So the hashing table with a constant time operation. But in this hashing operation, we got to more than one simple table value can be used for the data structure compilation. So in explain, data structure compilation means we got to write for the what is data structure compilation, what are the common data structure can be used for the compilation, then token, syntax tree, symbol tree, then literal tables. So these you got to write for the data structure compilations. Okay, so this is for the in temporary files, it is called the data of various stages. So each and every phases you got this you got the output from previous phases. So this is for the data structure compilation. This is also 4-mark question for your examinations. So you explain data structure compilation means you got to write for the all the things. All the things. So up to now, all the topics were completed for the first unit, first model. So in first model, what is compiler, what is translator, what is interpreter, differentiate between compiler and interpreter, differentiate between compiler and assembler, what are the type of assembler, then draw the language pre-processing systems, then what are the causes of compiler, then phase of compilation. So in phase of compilation, we are having for 2 phases: analysis phase, synthesis phase. So analysis phase is front end of the compiler, synthesis phase is back end of the compiler. So in both phases, we are using for the all the 6 phases of compilation: lexical to code generation, symbol table, and error handling management. Both will be handled for the all the 6 phases. So what are the tools to be generated for the analysis and synthesis phases? So pretty printer, static checker, interpreter, structure editors. Then what are the compiler construction tools? So lexical analysis will generate for scanner generator. Syntax analysis will generate for parser generator. Semantic analysis we didn't generate for the any tool. The intermediate code generation we indicate for the syntax data translation scheme. Then automatic code generator, data flow engine for the code optimization and code generation phase. Then what is finite automata? Automata we are having for 2 things, NFA and DFA. So the problem is conversion of NFA to DFA, how to convert for the NFA to DFA, then how to do for the minimization of DFA. So based on the subset construction algorithm. This is only one problem for your first unit. The next thing, specification of tokens. What is token, what is pattern, lexeme, strings, languages. So everything on clinic closure, positive closure. So this all comes under for the specification of tokens. The next one, bootstrapping technique, data structure compilation, lexical analyzer, generator. So these are all the